Ladies and gentlemen, there's something profoundly unsettling about silence between two people who were once deeply connected. A man and a woman, partners, companions, find themselves in a state of no contact, and the question that looms over this absence is, what does this mean? Let's think about connection for a moment. As human beings, we're wired for it. Our nervous systems respond to warmth and affirmation. When someone we care about ceases to reach out, it doesn't just leave a gap in communication, it leaves a void in meaning. We start to wonder if their silence is a message in itself, a statement about their commitment, their feelings, or perhaps even our worth. Connection in relationships is not merely a pleasant addition, it is the bedrock of human interaction and emotional fulfillment. To understand the depth of its importance, one must first acknowledge the fundamental nature of human beings as social creatures. We are hardwired to seek connection, to bond, and to derive meaning through shared experiences. In relationships, especially between a man and a woman, this connection serves as the lifeblood that sustains trust, understanding, and emotional intimacy. Connection is about more than just physical presence or verbal communication. It is a profound psychological and emotional link that transcends the tangible. When two individuals connect, they create a shared reality, a space where their thoughts, emotions, and aspirations intertwine. This shared space becomes the foundation for their relationship, a dynamic and evolving entity that requires care, attention, and mutual investment to thrive. One of the most critical aspects of connection is its role in fostering emotional safety. Emotional safety is the assurance that one can express their thoughts and feelings without fear of judgment, rejection, or ridicule. In a relationship, this safety allows both individuals to be vulnerable, to share their deepest fears and desires, and to navigate the complexities of life together. Without connection, this safety evaporates, leaving behind a sense of isolation and mistrust that can erode the relationship's foundation. Connection also acts as a conduit for empathy and understanding. It enables individuals to see the world through each other's eyes, to feel each other's pain, and to celebrate each other's victories. This shared empathy is not just a hallmark of a strong relationship, it is its glue. When a man and a woman are connected, they become attuned to each other's needs, often intuitively. They learn to navigate disagreements with compassion, finding solutions that honor both perspectives rather than seeking to dominate or invalidate the other. The absence of connection, on the other hand, creates a vacuum that is often filled with misunderstanding and resentment. When two individuals fail to connect, they lose the ability to interpret each other's intentions accurately. Small disagreements escalate into significant conflicts, and unmet expectations turn into deep-seated disappointments. Over time, this lack of connection can transform what was once a loving partnership into a battleground of unmet needs and unspoken frustrations. Another dimension of connection lies in its ability to nurture growth. In a truly connected relationship, both individuals inspire and challenge each other to become the best versions of themselves. This growth is not forced or coerced, but arises organically from the mutual support and encouragement that connection fosters. A connected partner becomes a mirror, reflecting not only one's strengths but also areas for improvement. This reflection, when offered with love and respect, can be a powerful catalyst for personal development. Connection is essential for creating a sense of belonging. To connect deeply with another person is to feel seen, heard, and valued. It affirms one's worth and provides a sanctuary from the chaos of the outside world. This sense of belonging is particularly crucial in romantic relationships, where the bond between a man and a woman often serves as a primary source of emotional sustenance. It is in this space of connection that individuals find solace, reassurance, and the courage to face life's challenges. In relationships, connection also plays a pivotal role in maintaining passion and intimacy. Emotional connection lays the groundwork for physical intimacy, transforming it from a mere act into an expression of love and unity. When two people are deeply connected, their intimacy becomes a language of its own, a way of communicating affection, desire, and commitment without words. This physical connection, in turn, reinforces the emotional bond, creating a virtuous cycle that strengthens the relationship. The process of building and maintaining connection is not without its challenges. It requires effort, intentionality, and a willingness to prioritize the relationship amidst life's many demands. In today's fast-paced world, where distractions abound and individual pursuits often take precedence, the need for connection is greater than ever. It is not enough to simply coexist. True connection demands presence, both physical and emotional. It requires listening, not just to respond, but to understand, and it calls for acts of kindness and consideration that reaffirm the bond. In moments of stress or conflict, connection becomes both a refuge and a tool for resolution. When two people are connected, they approach problems as a team, seeking solutions that benefit the relationship rather than indulging in blame or defensiveness. This collaborative spirit is a testament to the strength of their bond, a reminder that they are stronger together than apart. It is important to recognize that connection is not a static state, but a dynamic process. It ebbs and flows, influenced by external circumstances, individual growth, and the natural rhythms of life. Maintaining connection requires adaptability and resilience, a recognition that the bond between a man and a woman must be nurtured continuously if it is to endure. Through intentional effort and mutual commitment, connection can serve as the foundation for a relationship that is not only enduring but also deeply fulfilling. Silence is a complex and multifaceted phenomenon in human relationships. It can serve as a powerful tool for introspection and healing, or it can act as a destructive force that undermines connection and trust. When silence occurs between two people, especially in a close relationship such as that between a man and a woman, its impact is profound and far-reaching. The absence of words does not equate to the absence of meaning. Rather, silence often speaks volumes, though what it communicates can vary significantly depending on the context and intentions behind it. One of the most immediate effects of silence is its capacity to create uncertainty. In the absence of explicit communication, the mind naturally seeks to fill the void, often with assumptions and interpretations. These assumptions are frequently negative, as humans tend to err on the side of caution when interpreting ambiguous situations. A lack of contact or dialogue can lead one or both individuals to question the other's intentions, feelings, or commitment to the relationship. This uncertainty fosters insecurity, eroding the foundation of trust that is critical for any healthy relationship to thrive. Silence can also be experienced as a form of rejection. When one partner chooses not to communicate, the other may perceive this as an indication that their thoughts, feelings, or presence are no longer valued. This sense of rejection can be particularly acute in situations where the silence is prolonged or unexplained. The emotional pain caused by this perceived dismissal can manifest as feelings of unworthiness, loneliness, and a diminished sense of self-esteem. Over time, this emotional toll may contribute to resentment or withdrawal, creating a cycle of disconnection that is difficult to break. At the same time, silence has the potential to exacerbate unresolved conflicts. When silence follows a disagreement, it often functions as a form of avoidance, preventing the necessary dialogue required to address and resolve the issue at hand. Instead of fostering understanding and reconciliation, silence allows misunderstandings and grievances to fester, deepening the divide between the two parties. What might have been a minor disagreement can escalate into a significant rupture in the relationship simply because the silence prevented meaningful resolution. Yet silence is not always born of conflict. Sometimes it stems from emotional overwhelm or a lack of clarity about how to proceed. In such cases, silence may reflect a desire for space, a need to process emotions or thoughts before engaging in communication. However, if this intention is not communicated, the partner left in the dark may interpret the silence as indifference or hostility. The lack of transparency around the reasons for silence can amplify its negative effects, as it leaves the other party guessing and often leads to further misunderstandings. There is also a cultural and psychological dimension to silence that influences its impact. In some cultures, silence is considered a sign of respect or contemplation, while in others it may be seen as a form of punishment or disengagement. Similarly, individuals vary in how they interpret and respond to silence based on their personal histories and attachment styles. For example, someone with a history of abandonment or insecurity may find silence particularly distressing, as it triggers deep-seated fears of rejection. Understanding these nuances is critical for navigating the complexities of silence in a relationship. Silence can also create a paradoxical sense of intimacy. In relationships where a deep connection exists, silence is sometimes experienced as a shared space of comfort, where words are unnecessary to convey understanding or presence. This form of silence is rare and occurs when both parties are attuned to each other's emotional states, finding reassurance in their mutual companionship even in the absence of verbal communication. However, this positive experience of silence requires a strong foundation of trust and emotional security, which is not always present in every relationship. Another significant impact of silence is its influence on the narrative that individuals construct about their relationship. Humans are natural storytellers, constantly seeking to make sense of their experiences. When silence replaces dialogue, it disrupts this storytelling process, leaving gaps that individuals are compelled to fill. These gaps are often filled with speculation, doubt, or fear, especially if the relationship has already experienced strain. The resulting narrative can shape how each person perceives the relationship, potentially creating emotional barriers that hinder future communication and connection. Silence can affect not only the individuals involved, but also the relational dynamics as a whole. For instance, silence can shift power dynamics, with the person initiating the silence often perceived as holding more control. This imbalance can create a sense of helplessness or frustration in the other person, further complicating the relationship. Conversely, silence can also be experienced as a relinquishing of power, where one person disengages entirely, leaving the other to bear the emotional burden of maintaining the relationship. Silence functions as a protective mechanism, a way to shield oneself from further emotional pain or to prevent escalation during moments of heightened tension. While this may provide temporary relief, it often comes at the expense of long-term relational health. The absence of communication prevents the opportunity for growth and mutual understanding, leaving underlying issues unaddressed and unresolved. Communication is the essential bridge that connects individuals, especially in the intricate and emotionally charged dynamics of relationships. It is the medium through which thoughts, emotions, and intentions traverse the gap between two minds, fostering understanding, connection, and growth. When communication is clear and intentional, it strengthens the foundations of a relationship, allowing it to flourish. Conversely, when communication falters, the bridge weakens, leaving the relationship vulnerable to misunderstanding, conflict, and emotional disconnection. At its most fundamental level, communication is about the exchange of information. In a relationship, this information includes not just factual data, but also emotional states, personal needs, and shared aspirations. Effective communication ensures that both individuals remain attuned to each other's inner worlds, creating a sense of intimacy and alignment. This alignment is vital, as it allows both parties to navigate the complexities of life together, making decisions and addressing challenges with a unified perspective. The function of communication as a bridge becomes particularly evident in moments of conflict. Disagreements and misunderstandings are inevitable in any relationship, but how they are handled determines their impact. Open and respectful communication acts as the means by which conflicts are resolved, fostering understanding rather than division. It provides a platform for both parties to express their perspectives, clarify their intentions, and work toward mutually beneficial solutions. Without this bridge, conflicts often escalate, leaving unresolved tensions that can strain the relationship over time. Beyond resolving conflict, communication also plays a crucial role in building trust. Trust is the cornerstone of any meaningful relationship, and it is established and maintained through consistent, honest, and transparent dialogue. When individuals communicate openly about their feelings, intentions, and experiences, they demonstrate vulnerability and authenticity, which in turn fosters trust. This trust is not static, it must be continually reinforced through ongoing communication that reaffirms the relationship's stability and reliability. Communication as a bridge extends beyond spoken words. It encompasses nonverbal cues, tone, and context. The way something is said often carries as much weight as the words themselves. A gentle tone, steady eye contact, and attentive listening convey care and respect, reinforcing the emotional bond between individuals. On the other hand, a dismissive tone or closed body language can create distance, undermining the connection that communication seeks to build. This interplay between verbal and nonverbal communication highlights the complexity of the bridge and the skill required to maintain it effectively. Another critical aspect of communication is its ability to foster growth within a relationship. Through dialogue, individuals gain insight into each other's thoughts, values, and experiences, broadening their understanding and appreciation of one another. This exchange of perspectives encourages personal and relational growth, as it challenges individuals to reconsider their assumptions, expand their empathy, and adapt to each other's evolving needs. Communication serves as the vehicle for this growth, facilitating a continuous process of discovery and adaptation that keeps the relationship dynamic and fulfilling. To fostering growth, communication also serves to reaffirm commitment. By sharing hopes, fears, and aspirations, individuals reinforce their dedication to the relationship and their investment in each other's well-being. This reassurance is particularly important during times of uncertainty or change, as it provides a sense of stability and security. Through communication, individuals can articulate their shared goals and reaffirm their partnership, strengthening the bond that unites them. The absence of effective communication, however, has the opposite effect. When the bridge of communication is neglected or broken, the distance between individuals grows, leaving space for doubt, resentment, and disconnection. Misunderstandings multiply in the absence of clarity, and unmet expectations become sources of frustration. Over time, this lack of communication erodes the foundation of a relationship, making it increasingly difficult to rebuild trust and connection. The challenges of maintaining communication as a bridge are further compounded by external factors such as stress, time constraints, and technological distractions. In today's fast-paced world, the demands of work, family, and personal obligations often leave little time for meaningful dialogue. However, these very pressures make intentional communication even more critical. It requires conscious effort to prioritize and nurture the bridge, ensuring that it remains strong enough to withstand the challenges of modern life. The quality of communication is as important as its frequency. Surface-level exchanges may suffice for day-to-day interactions, but they do little to sustain the deep emotional connection required for a thriving relationship. Meaningful communication requires depth and vulnerability, a willingness to go beyond the superficial and engage with each other's inner worlds. This depth of communication not only strengthens the bridge but also enriches the relationship, creating a sense of closeness that transcends mere companionship. Communication as a bridge is not a one-time construction but an ongoing process. It must be continuously maintained, repaired, and reinforced through consistent effort and attention. Each conversation, no matter how small, contributes to the bridge's integrity, while each missed opportunity for dialogue leaves it more fragile. By recognizing the importance of communication and committing to its practice, individuals can ensure that their relationships remain connected and resilient, capable of withstanding the inevitable challenges and changes that life brings. Disconnection in relationships, particularly those of an intimate nature, carries profound psychological costs that ripple through every aspect of an individual's emotional well-being. When the bond between two people weakens or breaks, it is not merely the relationship that suffers. The individuals involved endure significant internal consequences. The absence of connection undermines the human need for attachment, leaving in its wake a host of psychological challenges that can manifest as anxiety, depression, and even a distorted sense of self-worth. Disconnection disrupts the foundational sense of security that relationships are meant to provide. Humans are inherently social beings, biologically wired to seek attachment and connection. These bonds serve as anchors, offering stability and reassurance in an unpredictable world. When disconnection occurs, the loss of this anchor creates a void, triggering feelings of uncertainty and fear. For many, this uncertainty manifests as a pervasive anxiety and incessant questioning of one's value, the reasons behind the disconnection, and the likelihood of repair. This mental preoccupation can become all-consuming, sapping emotional energy and leaving individuals feeling untethered and vulnerable. One of the most immediate psychological costs of disconnection is loneliness. Loneliness is not merely the absence of companionship, it is the deeply felt absence of understanding and belonging. When disconnection replaces intimacy, individuals often find themselves isolated even in the presence of others. This isolation fosters a sense of being unseen and unheard, amplifying feelings of alienation. Over time, chronic loneliness has been linked to a range of mental health challenges, including increased risk for depression, diminished cognitive function, and reduced resilience to stress. The impact of disconnection extends beyond loneliness to affect an individual's self-esteem and self-worth. Relationships, particularly those that are close and meaningful, act as mirrors through which people perceive themselves. When a relationship falters, it can distort this reflection, leading individuals to question their adequacy and value. For some, the loss of connection may be internalized as a personal failure, a perceived confirmation of their deepest insecurities. This self-doubt can spiral into a negative self-concept, further eroding the individual's confidence and ability to engage in future relationships. Disconnection also carries the psychological cost of unresolved emotions. The absence of contact or communication often leaves conflicts unaddressed and feelings unexpressed. This emotional suppression can create an internal buildup of tension, manifesting as irritability, restlessness, or even physical symptoms such as headaches or fatigue. Unresolved emotions linger in the subconscious, subtly influencing thoughts and behaviors, and can lead to a sense of stagnation or emotional paralysis. Without the catharsis that connection and communication provide, these emotions may fester, growing more complex and harder to untangle over time. Another significant cost of disconnection is the erosion of trust, both in others and in oneself. When a bond is broken, it often leaves individuals questioning their ability to judge character or maintain meaningful relationships. This loss of trust can have far-reaching consequences, affecting not only future relationships but also the individual's sense of agency and control. The inability to trust oneself or others creates a defensive posture, where vulnerability is avoided at all costs. While this may serve as a protective mechanism, it also perpetuates a cycle of disconnection, as authentic relationships require openness and trust. Disconnection can also distort an individual's perception of reality. In the absence of dialogue, people are left to interpret events and emotions on their own, often without sufficient context or clarity. This lack of shared understanding can lead to the formation of narratives that may be incomplete or inaccurate. For example, an individual might attribute the disconnection entirely to their own shortcomings, overlooking external factors that may have contributed. These distorted narratives can reinforce negative thought patterns, deepening the psychological impact of the disconnection. The psychological cost of disconnection is further compounded by its effect on one's ability to regulate emotions. Relationships serve as a key source of emotional regulation, offering comfort, validation, and perspective during times of distress. When this source is removed, individuals may struggle to process their emotions effectively, leading to heightened stress and emotional dysregulation. This can create a cascade of challenges affecting everything from decision-making to interpersonal interactions, as the individual becomes increasingly overwhelmed by their internal state. In some cases, disconnection also triggers a state of hypervigilance, where individuals become excessively attuned to potential threats or signs of rejection. This heightened state of alertness is an evolutionary response to perceived danger, but in the context of relationships, it often leads to overanalysis and misinterpretation of social cues. Hypervigilance can be exhausting, leaving individuals mentally and emotionally drained, but it also hinders the ability to engage authentically with others, as the focus shifts from connection to self-preservation. The psychological cost of disconnection is not limited to the individual experiencing it. It often extends to their broader social network. As disconnection erodes an individual's emotional resilience and capacity for intimacy, it may create ripples of strain in other relationships. Friends and family members may struggle to provide support, particularly if the individual becomes withdrawn or overly reliant on these secondary connections to fill the void. This dynamic can lead to further feelings of isolation and complicate the process of healing and reconnection. Disconnection can stifle personal growth and self-discovery. Relationships often serve as a catalyst for development, challenging individuals to expand their perspectives, confront their limitations, and strive for greater understanding. When disconnection occurs, this opportunity for growth is lost, replaced instead by a focus on survival and recovery. This stagnation can feel profoundly demoralizing as it deprives individuals of the sense of progress and fulfillment that meaningful connections provide. In the ever-changing landscape of life, there are moments when individuals find themselves at a crossroads, where the rhythms of their existence no longer feel aligned with their goals, values, or desires. It is during these moments that the opportunity for recalibration arises, an invitation to pause, reflect, and realign one's direction. Recalibration is not just about course correction, it is about gaining deeper insight into oneself, embracing growth, and reevaluating the paths that once seemed certain. This process, while often uncomfortable and challenging, offers profound potential for transformation and renewal. Recalibration often emerges from a place of discomfort or discontentment. It may be triggered by a significant life event, a relationship breakdown, a career shift, a personal failure, or even a quiet moment of realization that things are not as they should be. The discomfort itself serves as a signal, a prompt from within to acknowledge that something needs to change. Instead of resisting this discomfort, recalibration encourages individuals to embrace it as a necessary step toward evolution. It requires stepping out of familiar patterns and venturing into uncharted territory, which can be intimidating but also liberating. One key aspect of recalibration is self-reflection. To recalibrate, an individual must first examine their current state, identifying where they have deviated from their authentic self or core values. This process involves asking difficult questions such as, what am I truly seeking in life? What have I been avoiding? Where have I compromised my integrity or desires? Self-reflection allows individuals to recognize the incongruence between their current reality and their ideal self or situation. This awareness is the foundation upon which recalibration is built, as it uncovers the gaps that need to be bridged. Self-reflection is also critical in identifying areas of growth. Recalibration offers the opportunity to assess one's strengths and weaknesses, to acknowledge past successes and failures, and to recalibrate not only external actions but also internal beliefs and mindsets. Growth requires a willingness to challenge one's assumptions, to step outside comfort zones, and to reconsider long-held beliefs that may no longer serve. In this way, recalibration is about the cultivation of resilience and adaptability. Life will always present obstacles, but the ability to recalibrate allows individuals to face those obstacles with newfound clarity and strength. Another significant aspect of recalibration is embracing change. Life, by its very nature, is in constant flux. What was true yesterday may not be true today, and what feels right now may no longer hold meaning in the future. Recalibration requires an openness to change, a willingness to let go of outdated patterns, relationships, and goals that no longer align with one's evolving self. This might mean changing careers, reevaluating friendships, or even reconsidering life's deeper purpose. Change can feel destabilizing, especially when it involves letting go of what is familiar. However, recalibration involves recognizing that stagnation is often more dangerous than change. The discomfort of transformation is temporary, but the rewards of recalibrating one's life are lasting. One of the primary goals of recalibration is to restore alignment between one's actions and inner values. Often, individuals find themselves caught in routines or societal expectations that pull them away from what truly matters to them. In these moments, recalibration provides the opportunity to realign, to reconnect with personal values, passions, and ambitions. It requires a return to self-trust, allowing individuals to step away from external pressures and focus inward. This internal alignment fosters a sense of peace and purpose as individuals begin to make choices that are authentic to their true selves. Recalibration also encourages a shift in perspective. It is easy to become fixated on external markers of success, career advancement, wealth, status, but recalibration helps individuals see beyond these superficial measures. It emphasizes the importance of emotional fulfillment, relationships, and personal well-being. The process invites individuals to broaden their definition of success, viewing it through the lens of long-term satisfaction rather than short-term achievement. This shift in perspective allows for a more holistic approach to life, where fulfillment is sought not in external validation, but in the internal harmony of living authentically. Recalibration involves the recalculation of priorities. In the hustle of modern life, it is easy to lose sight of what is truly important. Work demands, family obligations, and social pressures often pull individuals in multiple directions, leaving little room for introspection or realignment. Recalibration presents an opportunity to step back and reassess these priorities. What truly matters? What deserves time, energy, and attention? This process may lead to difficult choices as individuals confront the reality that some commitments, habits, or relationships no longer serve their growth. While this can feel painful or even regretful, recalibration empowers individuals to make decisions that align with their evolving self. The process of recalibration is not linear or immediate. It is an ongoing journey that requires patience, persistence, and self-compassion. There will be moments of doubt, hesitation, and setbacks, but the key to recalibration lies in the ability to continue moving forward. The journey is not about perfection, but about progress, about making conscious decisions that move one closer to an authentic and meaningful life. Recalibration does not mean abandoning one's past, rather it means integrating past experiences and lessons into a new framework that supports personal evolution. Recalibration also involves the cultivation of new habits and routines. Change is not simply an internal process, it must be reflected in one's actions. The practices and behaviors that once aligned with an old version of oneself may no longer fit the new self. Recalibration encourages individuals to build new habits, whether that means establishing healthier routines, setting clearer boundaries, or pursuing new interests that support their desired transformation. This alignment between intention and action creates a sense of momentum, reinforcing the sense that recalibration is not a momentary change but a sustained shift in the direction of one's life. Recalibration is about embracing life's fluidity and remaining open to its endless possibilities. It is an acknowledgement that life is not a static journey but a series of evolving chapters, each offering the chance for reinvention and realignment. The opportunity for recalibration, while sometimes born from discomfort, provides the most significant potential for growth, allowing individuals to emerge from periods of doubt and disconnection with renewed purpose, clarity, and resilience. In conclusion, when a man and woman do not contact each other, the resulting silence creates an emotional void that can lead to confusion, loneliness, and introspection. This disconnection often signals deeper underlying issues, whether unresolved conflicts, unmet needs, or misaligned expectations. While silence can provide temporary space for clarity, it also risks eroding trust and understanding. In such moments, communication becomes the essential tool for recalibration, fostering reconnection and growth. Ultimately, the key lies in approaching disconnection with self-awareness, openness, and a willingness to bridge the gap with intention and empathy, ensuring both individuals are heard and understood.